Right. So, Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a long, long time, and I kind of left it after XYZ came out. But I think Link summoning is sincerely the best thing that's happened to it since, and here's why. When I left the game, I left it because it was getting obscenely fast, and I mean obscenely fast. However, with this new Link summoning, I mean, the mechanic itself seems to be aimed to slowing that special summoning from the extra deck potential that was really abused during the Synchro and XYZ era. And recently I was watching a couple of videos on this Link summoning stuff, and I saw a lot of people were getting angry about it, and it kind of made me get back into the game. And when I did, I really enjoyed myself. I downloaded a couple of decks from the YCS. Sadly, I can't purchase the cards, so we're like playing with a couple of proxies here. But we have we have the Zodiac deck that I gave my brother, and a Dino FTK that I wanted to try. And then we ended up switching decks, and it took me a while to understand the combo for the Zodiac. The extra deck, and it took him a while to understand the FTK because same, like we haven't been in the game forever. But when we did, it was so much fun. My current extra deck is only running a Mrs. Radiant for these Zodiacs, whereas he has a couple of firewalls, a decoder. Again, for some of these we really had to use proxies. But yeah, I mean, gosh, it's so much more strategic now. After I had left Yu-Gi-Oh, I actually played Magic the Gathering for a very long time. One of the things that I love the most about Magic the Gathering, well, there was a couple of things, I guess. No particular order. The flying mechanic was a really lot of fun. I was really weird to me, to the fact that you could have just attacked a monster but that was like right there. But no, I mean, the flying mechanic just blew my mind. It opened up a whole dimension on the field, and it was like, wow, that is so cool. There is no chains, so you can just be like, I respond to that, I respond to that, I respond to that until you run out of cards, and they all solve in an orderly manner, and I really like that. But what I really liked about the Magic is that you had so many different kinds of decks. Like, you could build a deck which in what would Yu-Gi-Oh terms be just magic cards, like just spells, and it would work just fine. And honestly, just gotten, like, I don't think I've ever seen two alike decks in the same tournament. Maybe once, but in Yu-Gi-Oh it's like I always, like, when I quit it was Light Soren, 6 Ams, Blackwing was still making a bit of splash, I guess. But no, it doesn't compare at all. Like, you could go there and just see completely, like, I mean, playing in standard Magic, yeah, you could see some repeat decks, but again, it doesn't really compare at all with like the amount of just sameness that plagued Yu-Gi-Oh around the time I was playing. So I come back and I see, that there's a Zodiacs, and then there's this Dinos. So I don't know, I gave it a shot, and I had a lot of fun. Like, it felt more strategic. Like, one of the reasons it really grabbed me is the fact that you have to start from one. Like, you can't just swarm. Like, you have to plan out what you're doing. I had a lot of people hating on decks like Zodiac because they can do this really well. But sincerely, I think the mechanics are fine. Like, obviously these cards are gonna get hit because they're obviously unfair. But as far as Link summoning is concerned, you kind of need decks like this. Like, you can't build a whole mechanic, introduce it, and then take the decks that exploit it best away from the players. That would be such a stupid move. I do think, however, that some of the Link monsters are definitely going to see a hit on the first 2018 ban list, because cards like Firewall Dragon are just so stupidly broken. Like, the Dino deck there's 3 of them on the field at a time. So unless I'm understanding this ruling wrong, it says once this card is face up. So it's not naming the other firewalls. It's naming this card in a specific while it's face up once, right? So he has this freaking firewalls all pointing to each other and a couple of other dinos, and he's just bouncing everything I do because he can target any cards on the field and graveyard up to the number that they're pointing. So for each one, he had at least 3. So he could easily pop like whatever I had on the field twice if you wanted, and it was like I don't see people being like, oh, that's really unfair or whatever, because like if I had my go before he, like for example, it was really situational. Like if I got my combo before he did, I'd win. If he got his combo, I'd win. He'd win, sorry. And it's been like that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. Like when 6 Sams came out, it was like that. Like I remember I had my Blackwing deck, and it was just okay, set Icarus and whatever Blackwing suits, or like Shura or something, and end go, and then 6 Sams would just be like, okay, activate Gate, and I would just immediately activate a Scoop Phase, because honestly it was just like, it was so absurdly fast, like unfairly fast compared to everything else that I was, and it had so much denial. I feel like Zodiacs are the 6 Sams of the era now, because they have that, like they have access to good denial, access to good board clean, but you can't shut them down. Like when I played 6 Sams, it'd be like, this is it, I have nothing else to do, like this guy is just gonna get everything, and that annoying card, I was a Xian, I think it was Xian, I don't remember, but god, it was so difficult to go because it denied everything you did. I think it was once per turn, 1 card or something, but it was enough. And now that Zodiacs are kind of doing the same, and Dinos are like the opposing. Like I feel like they are the ones that can really run over, that can really deal with Zodiacs in a decent way. Again, I know some of these cards are gonna get hit for sure in the upcoming ban list, but I think at least until 2018, people should get more comfortable with Link Summon and just accept the fact that we need these decks to exploit this mechanic until it's well established. By midway 2018, the game is gonna be like worked out. All the kings are gonna have been managed, or at the very least, they're even going to be managed soon after. But the game will be at a much more stable point. It will be, and Link Summoning will be just something everybody's comfortable with, and then you're gonna see. Like I'm thinking maybe March is when we're gonna see the biggest change to the Link Summoning mechanic. We're gonna see. I'm definitely seeing more bans for Zodiacs for sure. The deck might get pushed up a bit. We might see returns from cards that are gonna maybe. I'm thinking even something like maybe Recovery from the Graveyard. I don't want to say Monster Reborn because that's a kind of wormholes. It always has been since it got banned. But I mean, even with like cards like Broad Bull and Dryden being so broken, like I don't see they're gonna get fully banned. Things like Firewall Dragon might definitely get limited to 1. Mrs. Radiant, she's really balanced. I really like her. I don't know. I think once people just understand that now that a strategy has to come from those Link monsters, that you have to build your deck around it, it's just gonna be better. People will just make better decks. Like I was just thinking of a Blackwing variant for this Link format, and I think Shura and Shirako are gonna be the top cards to run 3 of, because they search everything else in your deck. Even at 1 Whirlwind, it was still good. And I mean, lose coin toss. If I lose the coin toss, I go second. If I win, I go second anyways. Because as Blackwings, you wanna just have your field open and your opponent to have monster. 1 Black Whirlwind and 1 Shirako gets you anything you want. And I'm not sure if I haven't checked the ban list. Like again, I've literally just been getting back into the game. But I believe I heard in some video that Black Whirlwind is a 3. So for sure you're getting 1 Black Whirlwind in your hand at the beginning. And if you like Black Whirlwind Shirako Bora, it's an instant link for something good like Firewall, let alone the fact that Bora, Shura can special summon themselves. Gale is a 3. I'm not sure, sorry. Gale, Bora, both special summon themselves, and you can still run variations of Bio Turbo that let you put like, I don't know, an armored wing in the extra deck, special summon Bora, link up, normal summon Shiroko, search for Zephyr, XYZ into your XYZ, could be a Daigusto, draw a card. Like, already Blackwell, like, I'm saying it now, Blackwell 1's gonna hit again. If it's 3 at 3, Blackwell's gonna get hit at 3 again. I don't know how much, I've seen some additions to the Blackwing archetype, but I feel like this might be one of the strongest plays. I can just imagine you going out of control with a Bio Turbo. Maybe DD Crows might be seeing something. Like, I was reading in another video that any deck that really manipulates their graveyard is going to be good in this format. So heck, we might even see a comeback for Gravekeepers that keep you from your graveyard. And it's going to be amazing. Like, I'm really hoping that by the inclusion of this Link Summoning, by the banning of some cards, or maybe the hitting of some decks that have been very oppressive in the past, we're gonna be able to see the resurgence of maybe some other archetypes that haven't been able to shine simply because of how the game has been. Again, Bio Turbo, a variation of Blackwings, heck, even a Red Eyes deck might be interesting. Not with the new support that's coming out. I don't know anything about that, but I know Red Eyes Metal Dragon. I don't know what's it at now. It used to be banned, I think. All I'm saying is there's decks out there that definitely have good search potential, that can definitely special summon enough things to get those links and to get those XYCs and to get those synchro rollings. As soon as these link monsters open up another zone for, be it Blackwings, be it 6 Sams, I think maybe like it'd be the one thing that can keep going. Like, the only reason I don't like is Miss Radiant is because she's so weak. A 19-beat stick sounds really amazing. I don't know. I find that kind of thing to run over so easily. Like, if I don't win by the turn Miss Radiant hits the field, I could potentially lose, and that is against a deck like Dino FTK, that is definitely a possibility. Like, if I don't really have any denial in my hand or anything on the backboard, I'm screwed. But Blackwings always had like that Icarus attack. I mean, there was nothing funnier than seeing somebody try to wipe your board when all you had was an Icarus attack and a Scirocco or a Synchro, and then you just pop it and then you leave him without options too. I don't know. It was. I like the format before Synchros because Fusion Summon was heck as low, so you had to do most of your shenanigans in your deck. And when Synchros came out, I really didn't like him until I got into Blackwings. Now for the Link Summoning, I liked it right away. I definitely want to get back into the game because of it. I want to see how they take this mechanic, see if it improves the game, if it makes it worse. Like, they got me hooked now. And I'm just hoping to make a decent Blackwing deck that is going to be able to keep up with things like Zodiacs and Dino FTK, because Blackwings are my babies. My brother's planning to build an Earthbound Immortal version variant of something like True King. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about the upcoming ban list at the end of the month. So let's hope that these hits are clear, targeted, that the decks that get affected don't get so affected that they become unplayable, and that we'll see the resurgence of other archetypes that may not have seen as much play simply because they weren't as fast, or didn't have the amount of tech as other archetypes like Zodiac has. Anyway, that's my thoughts on why, at the very least, Link Summoning is, if not the best thing that's happened to the game in the last few years, definitely one of the most interesting. And I know that things like that are very polarizing for the community, but as a whole, I think we all have a great time of it. I think discussing about it is exactly what propels the game, decks to be made. So I just want to, like, every person that hates the current Link, please go out of your way to make decks that are just gonna poop on this mechanic, because that's gonna be absolutely interesting to see. So yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on the game. I'm really glad to get back into it. This is, again, just a really casual take on how the game might be. This video is a part of a larger series. You might want to check them out on my channel. You can just head over to my playlists. Do you like the video? Leave a like. If you hated it, leave a comment. If you really liked it, subscribe. And yeah, guys, peace. This has been Bamboo Banter.